hey, congratulations on coming here. It took a lot of courage, because you could have done something self-destructive tonight, but instead you came here because you wanted to find something that was going to inspire you. And I really hope that this does. I want to share my story with you because I am a gay Christian, and that's something that a lot of people consider to be an oxymoron, that you can't love Jesus and also love people of the same gender. Well, I'm here to tell you that's not true. But for me, it was a process to come to that conclusion. When I first found out that I was gay, I was about 13, and it really scared me. I'd heard in church, that just homosexuality was so wrong, and another thing that they told me was that you couldn't be homosexual and Christian because the very thing that caused homosexuality was a rejection of God. And that scared me so much because if I rejected God, I was going to hell and all sorts of things. So rather than thinking that the church was wrong in that aspect, I tried to change. And it was a failed attempt. But I tried anyway. I would pray really, really hard, just asking God to take away, and I would try to do things to just not think about my homosexual desires or stuff like that, which I hate that terminology. Doesn't that just sound so sterile? Really, I just didn't try to think about how hot guys were. And we're very sexual beings, so especially at 13, that was about the most impossible thing that I could do, because guys were hot. And I thought about them a lot. But I hated myself every time I did. And I was just like, why can't you think straight thoughts? Why can't you be like all of your other friends who like women? And I just fell into a pattern of just really hating myself, thinking about men, hating myself, praying really hard, and wishing for it all to go away, only to fall asleep thinking about men again, and hating myself, and hating myself, and hating myself. And going to church then, and hearing the message of how wrong I was, I eventually came out when I was about 15. But it wasn't the type of coming out that most people come out to. Most people come out and they say, Mom, Dad, I'm gay. I said, Mom, Dad, I'm gay, and I want to change. So they got me professional help, and I went to a reorientation therapist. She honestly was really pretty cool. Not like sticking me up to a shock machine or something like that, showing me pictures of guys and then going, zzz. So every time I'd see a picture of a guy, I'd just be like, ugh. What we did was we talked about my feelings, we talked about my past, and in a lot of ways it was really good because I had some feelings that I'd never shared with anybody before that I really needed to get out. And it was an awesome experience for me, and it shaped part of me because I want to be a psychologist one day and help people who are repressing feelings or who have gone through some trauma in their life to get over it and to become even better people. So in a lot of ways, it really did help me. But it didn't make me straight. And so I still hated myself. And the cycle continued. I spent so much time and energy just being like, why can't you become straight? Why can't you become straight? Why can't you become straight? Missing out on a lot of really good stuff. Because there were people around me who were going to be accepting of me. So I did kind of something that you did right now. I knew that this was who I was, but I felt that it was wrong still. So I'd go out to the internet, kind of like how you're doing, and I found the Gay Christian Network. And it was a revelation to me to realize that there were other gay people who still loved Jesus. And one of the things I read on there was an apologetic that explained the doctrine of how they believe that you could be a gay person, have relationships, and God would still love you. And it broke down the really just flawed theology behind people who said differently, that God was just unaccepting of homosexuals or something like that. And I realized that there were like 7 verses that they drew that entire theology from, and it was so weak. So that's when I found it. I found hope. I found that I could be my own person. And so I believed in that. I clung to it. praying to God that if this was what he wanted me to be, then just reveal it to me. And he did, because as I went on that site and I found other people who were gay and Christian as well, and I realized that I could be who I wanted to be. And then I started loving myself and not hating myself and not spending so much time thinking about how I needed to change to be a better person. And that's when things started to get better for me. All of my struggles were mostly internal, thinking that I was just somehow out of line. And when I was able to love myself, I realized that there were people out there that were going to accept me. The friends that I did have, when I finally told them that I was gay, they were just like, yeah, more power to you. And I was able to focus on school more, rather than my own problem. And I did really well in school. So much so, I was able to get scholarships to this really awesome university that I'm filming this video in right now. And who we just had Dan Savage, the creator of this project, come and speak at, sign my book, saying, all the best to you, Jordan. So happy that you're happy. And that's a great thing. I really am happy. Because now I'm at university where people just, they celebrate your differences. And they're just like, congratulations on having the courage to say that you're gay. And now, instead of just not even just loving myself, I'm also trying to go out there and encourage others to love themselves too and to fight for equal rights. And so that's what I'm doing with this video, is to encourage you to never give up and to find that aspect of your identity that you really do love. Because once you love yourself, you have a core that even if you are being bullied or name-called or whatever it is that you might be going through, nobody can take that away from you. Once you have the core of knowing that I am strong, I am me, that's when things get better. Because that's when you have hope to get through the tough times. And once you get through those tough times, it gets so much better. You are going to meet people who are going to just love you for you, and you might even find the love of your life. So never give up. Be empowered and stay the awesome person that you are. And I just hope that your life ends up being a beautiful saga that you can share with people down the road, just like I'm doing right now. So it gets better, so just hang out there and love yourself.